Ramble.
Baahubali!
Baahubali!
Baahubali! Oh, I thought we were... Okay.
Welcome to Guilty Pleasures. Today we are talking about the Tollywood hit classic Baahubali, The Beginning.
Baahubali!
One of three.
One of two.
One of two.
Wait, it's not three?
The beginning and the conclusion.
Oh, wait, but there is a third one.
I saw
There is, on Netflix.
Maybe it's just both.
Oh no,
Oh,
it's like
it
an
might be
animated side story type.
But how funny is that? It's Baahubali, The Beginning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Only to be followed by Baahubali, The Conclusion.
Yes.
That's all we need.
Yeah,
That's
it's
all we
efficient.
fucking need.
Yeah.
Joining us today, returning champion Ian Hecox.
Oh, did I win last time?
You did.
Oh,
okay, so one.
Congrats, we didn't send you your prize.
Yeah.
We did an episode where we did RRR, same director of this film, and Ian texted me, and he's like, this is the greatest movie. I don't want to speak for you. You've seen it in theaters, what, 5 times?
Well, I've seen it in theaters 1.5 times because fucking AMC just lost the second half of the movie.
What?
Oh.
Yeah, it was really weird. Like, I went to see RRR. I was very excited. It was going to be my first time seeing it in theaters because I had already seen it twice at that point on Netflix. And halfway through the movie, they have an intermission if you see it in theaters. And they turn the lights on, and the guy said, yeah, we can't play the second half.
Stop it.
Yeah. So we all went home. And so me and my friends that I brought, I just said, like, you guys want to just, like, finish it at my house? So that was number 3. And then I saw it again with somebody else. And then I saw it on the West Side with the director was there. We all saw it in theater.
Oh my
it was
God.
Incredible.
What was he doing a Q&A? What happened?
Yeah, he did a little Q&A.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Was he
what's
just
like?
chilling?
Yeah.
He's just stoked. He's like so
Oh my God.
like he's just like living his best life. Like to have a movie like break out beyond India is
Huge.
really huge. Like it's not very common at all. And to see like American audiences and like, you know, like beyond like Indian Americans like enjoying an Indian movie, it's not
But
common.
like their market is so huge though. Do they really need to break out?
No, but it's just exciting. Like,
They
did you guys saw the clip of the director, I'm going to butcher his name, S.S. Rajamouli, talking with James Cameron.
Yeah.
And James
Oh my
Cameron
God.
is
Yeah,
just
it's
for
like-
5
yeah.
minutes gushing about like, you did this and it was great, and then in this part of the movie, and he's just fucking like that.
Yeah.
You
Just
can't put a
Because
price
there
on
is
that.
an idolization, no matter what, and no matter how successful you are around the world, about like Hollywood and its like, you know, gravitas and its, you know, name. So to be taken and to be able to perform the number at the Oscars this year, even though they didn't use the original actors, it's whatever. But like to be recognized,
They were doing it. They were hitting
It was
it.
awesome.
They won for best song, right?
Yeah.
Or,
Fuck
am
yeah,
I
they
think
did.
so. Yeah.
Remember?
So
Group chat was live
after
that night.
Group chat
so
was
after we
live.
became obsessed with RRR,
Yeah.
Ian and I started geeking out about Tollywood movies, and he's like, he just started listing all these other movies.
Yep.
He's like, oh, well, you got to see Baahubali. And so here we are. We are going to be doing the beginning. We'll bring you back for the conclusion. We'll just keep going. As much as you
Great.
guys will let us geek out about Tollywood movies, we'll keep going.
It's taken everything in me not to watch the second one.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, because
Yeah.
where
It's-
this one? I mean, just jumping ahead.
The
Where the
second
show
one is
ends.
incredible too.
Of course it is.
The fucking cliffhanger they give you
It's
is
insane.
the biggest
Yeah,
balls.
yeah.
I gasped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
one of the more shocking twists that like I felt stupid for not seeing it coming.
Yes.
And then it just fucking like it slams into almost this comic book panel type
Yeah,
freeze
it's
frame.
very Snyder-esque. Yeah. I was like, oh, this feels like a 300 kind
Oh,
of
it's so
deal.
300.
This movie is what Zack Snyder thinks he
He's
is.
doing.
that's right.
Zack
Yeah.
Snyder goes to sleep wishing, hoping, dreaming that he could
these
touch the
sequences.
Baahubali greatness.
Yeah.
Before we like
Baahubali.
really dive the fuck in, can we address can we like just celebrate for a second?
Yeah.
Ian, as of an hour and 9 minutes ago,
Yeah.
announced he has repurchased Smosh.
Yeah.
With Anthony.
With Anthony.
Yeah.
Anthony and Ian have purchased Smosh. They are back in control, and you chose Guilty Pleasures to be your first media
To
outlet.
announce
Yeah, well, it was Variety first,
right? But this is kind of like your first exclusive interview.
Yeah,
individual.
It truly is. Like I saw like because we had scheduled this like a month ago, and then like we were working on like timing for the announcement of like Anthony and I buying Smosh again and announcing that we're gonna do sketches again, and I was like looking at the calendar. And I was like, yeah, I like my days. Oh fuck! like right at 10 a.m. Guilty Pleasures podcast, and I was like, we've already moved this date like once before. I'm not gonna do this to Zach again.
No!
So I was like, no, this is good. They're gonna be getting me fresh. I feel like this is what like base jumpers feel. Like I just have like adrenaline coursing through my veins right now. I feel invincible. The sky is brighter.
Yeah.
The flowers smell better. Everything just is just greater now.
So what actually happened is they were going to announce tomorrow, and then he saw the Guilty Pleasure recording. He's like, I really want to give them a hot exclusive.
Yeah.
Can we move it up a day?
It's a good thing this is also coming out weeks from now.
This
will have been really just not timed well on our end, but congratulations.
Yeah.
So you're back to making sketches. I mean, this must feel like a homecoming.
Yeah. So like Anthony and I, after he left Smosh 6 years ago, we kind of like, it's not like, I wouldn't like describe it as a falling out, but he did, he went on to his channel. I continued on Smosh, and we kind of like fell out of touch for a long time. And we were talking about it, and we talk about it on Anthony's channel. Like we kind of had to like let our like past friendship die in order for us to like come back in this sort of new form. So yeah, we reconnected last year and started like kicking around the ideas of like, oh, like could we like do sketches again? And I was skeptical. I was like, I don't know. And then like we started like watching some like old Smosh videos, like the sketches with me and him, and we were like, oh, like maybe, I don't know, like I guess we could try this. I guess we could try writing a sketch. But I was like really skeptical.
You knew something was in the air when he started nostalgia tweeting.
Yeah. I was like, what's going on here, Anthony?
It was like thinking about my ex.
Yeah. And so like we like sat down and tried to write a sketch, and it was crazy like how fast we like so quickly fell back into like our rhythm.
That's awesome.
And I was just like bewildered. Like when I was leaving his place, I was just like, that was good. Like and so it was just kind of like crazy. And then
this is exactly the plot of The Notebook.
Yeah.
It's like when McAdams and Gosling
just like showed up on your doorstep,
and then they make love again, and it's like wow.
Yeah, there was less rain because it was LA.
Right. Well, it's been
gloomy.
June gloom.
By the time this comes out,
No sky July.
No sky.
Don't you fucking dare.
No sky is good. Clouds are clear.
Okay.
Yeah. No sky July is what we want.
So you guys you made passionate love, and now you're making sketches.
Like artistically, writing wise.
No, let's start a rumor. You guys fucked.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that rumor's been going on for 17
there we go.
years.
That's what I love. Like a little bye guy moment. Yes, please.
And yeah, so then I randomly, when I was hanging out with him, I was like, what if we bought Smosh? And he like jumped up and he's like, dude, I've been thinking about that for months. And so, yeah, we just started to work on doing this in secret. And yeah, here we are. Big ups to Rhett and Link for passing the torch back to us.
Yeah.
And that's that.
Bro supporting bros.
Oh, yeah.
Ian loves
You
being
don't see
coy.
that enough in society.
At all.
Ian texted me 2.5 weeks ago, and he's like, hey, the day we're recording, something spicy is happening.
Oh my God.
And he has just been then texting me little like coy. So I just want y'all to know, like on the internet, you've been tortured for about 5 days of an announcement lead up. I've been tortured for 2.5 weeks.
Did you guess? Did you know?
I had a couple suspicions, but not this. I didn't guess.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
very
Big
excited.
shock. Big shock.
We're very excited for you, Sue. we're super stoked for you. We're going to be doing sketches twice a month, every other week.
Yep,
And by the time
main
this comes
channel.
out,
You'll have had a whole month of it.
Yeah.
And congrats,
Yeah.
those were so funny.
Yeah, thank
They
you.
were
Thank you.
hilarious.
Viral
they're
trending
really
page.
funny.
I've been seeing them on TikTok everywhere.
Thank you.
You guys really never lost it. I mean, I'd say you guys are even better now.
Thank you. I agree. And we now have memberships. So if you guys want to support a free and independent
Which I
Smosh.
heard you guys are now the largest leading membership.
Which is really crazy.
Yeah,
on
it's
the
crazy.
internet.
Yeah, the largest memberships on YouTube at
In
this
24
point.
hours,
We got
subscribe,
SS
yeah.
Rajamouli directing our videos now.
Part 2, Smosh Part 2. I
The
heard.
conclusion,
Yeah,
actually.
the
This is
conclusion.
Smosh the conclusion.
Yeah, Part 2 didn't make
Conclusion
it.
already, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's like it's gonna be another 17 years of
Got it, got it,
content.
got it,
But the
okay,
first
okay.
one was Smosh the beginning.
Yeah.
And
Which
then we
makes
went on
sense.
and then
17 years.
Smosh the conclusion. Yeah.
well, let's pivot right on in to the movie.
Yeah.
Same energy.
These
Yeah.
are like, these pieces don't fit together, but today they do.
They
Oh
do.
yeah, I think it fits together pretty
Well,
well.
the only thing
together.
more exciting than the news we're hearing today is Baahubali.
Baahubali.
Baahubali! We will be chanting that the entire time.
Baahubali is a Tollywood epic.
Yeah.
I don't even want to try and disgrace it with a synopsis. You got a little boy. You
Yeah.
got a baby boy abandoned,
A wee little babe.
Yeah.
raised by the under the waterfall people.
It's Hamlet, right? Am I
Another
wrong by
one?
saying that?
God, everything is Hamlet, isn't it?
I feel like
It always just
It's
goes
Hamlet
back.
adjacent.
it's Hamlet adjacent. It's the structure of it, but yeah. Lion
You got
King.
a little baby abandoned, raised under the waterfall. He says, one day, mama, I'm going to climb that waterfall.
Yeah.
He climbs that waterfall and he stumbles into an intergenerational conflict that turns
Yeah.
out it's him.
It's him.
He's
It's
They've
him.
been looking for him.
He's the conflict.
He's the
conflict.
chosen one.
Uh-huh.
He's the son of the great Baahubali, the warrior. And he's got to help free the princess, save the kingdom, and fuck the girl.
Hell yeah.
Except they'll never show the fucking.
No. Just
Miles,
the grinding.
you're laughing, but that's 100% accurate.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, and also he looks exactly like his father.
Like twins.
Like twins.
Like
Yeah.
he is his father, which confused me. Not gonna
It's
lie.
a little
Oh.
confusing.
But
Yeah,
you
he-
got to be ready
I-
because it's a 2.5 hour.
Yeah, I was with
epic.
it the entire time. I knew
Yeah.
exactly what was happening.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I was like, oh, he looks just
it was
like
a
his
long
dad.
day for me.
Perfect.
It was post sex party. It was post cum clarity.
Okay.
I was
Post
like,
come clarity.
I thought I had the best time last night.
yeah.
Psh, little did I know I was
Yeah,
I was
you're about
gonna
to watch
mentally
fucking
come
Baahubali.
multiple. Yeah.
It's at least probably smelled a little bit better
Yeah,
when
I'm
you were
sure.
watching Baahubali.
Yeah, how do sex parties smell? I need to
Like
I've heard
baby
that.
wipes.
adverse. Oh yeah, like baby
baby
wipes.
It's not
Yeah.
a hot smell.
It can't be a great smell.
Honestly, no. This one was the This was like the what's
But you
it
went to
called?
a good one.
I went to a good one. This was like their yearly like money drop. It was in an $18 million house.
Oh,
Okay.
It was many
We're going to talk
insane
about the movie at one point, just so
performances.
you know. It's coming.
And this one was themed gods of playground of the gods. So there were just like these very like open spread like pillows.
Did you have to wear a toga?
drapery.
People.
I did wear a toga.
That's fun.
That's
yeah, Cleopatra hair.
That's fun.
I had never heard of this, and I've heard of everything.
yeah.
There was a clear see-through coffin in one of the main rooms. And I was like, oh, that's sexy. What? They're going to put someone in it and they're going to be naked and play dead is what is happening. Bitch, there is a guy, a company that comes and brings this fancy see-through coffin big enough for 2 people to fit in it. And he brings snakes. And they're not just little baby snakes. These are fucking huge boa constrictor, 8 feet long. And you get in the coffin and they put snakes on you. And you let them slither all around your naked body. And it feels insane.
Did you do it?
I wouldn't get in the coffin because I'm claustrophobic, but I did let the snake crawl up on me. And it was
Okay.
pretty
That
crazy.
bordering on
Sounds like salmonella.
They said you're not.
You're fucking the snake.
Well, no.
No.
There's no insertion.
Yes,
Okay.
and they said you're not allowed to whip out your snake on the snakes.
Yeah. Okay.
I love the
Yeah.
idea of the director tuning into this episode.
Okay, I just had to say that one thing because I thought that was pretty crazy.
Well,
I'd
and
never
also
seen
like
anything
no
like
sex
it.
happens in
Yeah.
like any Indian movies, really.
Yeah.
As far as I've seen, like they don't show sex scenes. they always allude to it,
Yeah.
and they always do dances that are very sensual.
This sex
but there's never
scene-
sex.
Let's just dive. We're gonna go out of
Yeah,
order.
yeah,
Who
yeah.
gives a shit?
Sure.
Yeah.
The sex scene in this movie
Yeah.
is fucking wild
It
because
rips.
Baahubali, our boy,
Yeah.
we'll go back to the beginning later, but he's dreaming of this world above, and he sees this vision of a woman, and he's
Right.
following her. He's dancing up the waterfall.
We'll talk about that scene in itself.
Go for it. We'll go.
What the fuck? This waterfall is like 8 miles tall.
Yeah, he's really strong.
This
And he
boy
falls off that waterfall
Yeah,
a
several
lot.
times.
Yeah.
rolls down rocks,
Yeah.
falls into the pits of below,
Yep.
hanging on by branches, leaping across the fucking rocks. I have never seen like American Ninja Warrior. Who?
This
Yeah.
waterfall is 18 miles in diameter.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
is the biggest waterfall you have ever seen.
Jurassic Park took place inside of this waterfall.
Yeah.
It's the only thing big enough to hold the T-Rexes.
And it has its own ecosystem inside of it, as we
Absolutely.
see in one point.
Yeah.
There is a moment early on where Baahubali, just to like show you his strength, he's trying to leap across this waterfall, but at one point he flexes his biceps, and there is a bracelet around his biceps that snaps.
Yeah.
And the little whimper that I let out watching, I went, oh. It is so fucking cool. And then he finally, like, you're seeing him as this little boy trying to climb the waterfall. His mom's like, Baahubali, or no, what's his name? It's Shiva.
Yeah.
She's like, Shiva, don't climb the waterfall, I beg of you. And he's getting older, he's gonna climb that waterfall. Finally, he succeeds. And what is the first thing he does? Claps his hands and starts fucking dancing.
Hell
And we have a
yeah.
mini musical number.
Yeah.
I love Tollywood.
And he's being,
Yeah.
the whole time what really gets him all the way up the mountain is pussy.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that why men do most things in this
Anything.
world?
Yeah,
this
pardon my
world.
French. It's for the hoes.
Yeah,
you know?
no, trust me, I get it. I get it. I live in that energy. But like this woman who is like this mysterious woman is leading him up the waterfall, and he
Yeah.
couldn't do it before without his rock hard boner.
It's so
and she's
funny.
like made of butterflies
Yeah.
too. Like she's a hallucination. I'm like, this man is on drugs, or he hasn't like slept in many days climbing this waterfall because he's hallucinating a gorgeous girl who's singing to him like, "Bet you can't get me." That's the American lyrics for sure. And that's what gets him to completion of climbing the waterfall.
what
Absolutely.
killed me is what jump starts his journey is there's a wooden mask that falls down the waterfall.
It's so okay. So the wooden mask falls down the waterfall, and he sees it, and he was like, "The most beautiful face was in this shit." I know. And so I can feel that. I'm trying
Someone
not to be
hot touched
vulgar. Somebody hot was in this for sure.
Yeah.
The mask looks like the mask
Yeah.
from,
Yeah.
from Jim Carrey's The Mask.
Yeah.
There's no discernible feature to
No.
the mask. You see later, everyone has the mask. They all look the fucking
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
But he puts it onto sand.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I know. He starts carving out the woman that was behind the mask. And
Stalker behavior.
Yeah.
I
Some
was
would call it
expecting him
fate.
to carve some heaving naturals underneath that.
Heavy naturals.
Heavy naturals.
That's what we call tits
Heaving
on this podcast.
breasts.
Yeah.
Heavy naturals.
I like that.
I can't believe heavy naturals hasn't caught on
And
to
to
the
our
Heavy
merch,
naturals.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna
Exciting.
fucking keep saying heavy naturals until you guys fucking say it.
Until you beg us to make a t-shirt, we're gonna keep saying it.
Yeah,
Heavy
it should just say
naturals.
heavy under one boob and naturals under the other.
Yeah.
And it has a
absolutely.
little
welcome.
curve.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like two little smiles.
Yeah, and you
It's
can have
like
big
two
ones or
little,
little ones.
well, you can like
it's
tuck
tattoos.
it under, so
you
you
could
can
have
like.
a pierced one.
Yeah.
It's a hidden shit.
It's a flap.
hidden.
Yeah,
It's a flap.
It's a hidden pocket.
Because they're heavy. Yeah.
Nature's
yeah.
pocket.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, so he gets up
Wait,
the mountain
I
for
thought
pussy.
Nature's pocket was a vagina.
That's true.
This is the
That's-
horniest podcast about a movie that's not necessarily.
It
It
has
is.
like,
no
the world.
horny.
That
Yeah.
part is pretty horny. I would say.
Yeah.
This whole
She's
situation. Him climbing.
dancing like.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah,
she was
there's
in
always
there.
like a lot of like allusion to like sex.
Yeah.
In like Indian movies, but they can never show it.
What do we know? Why is that like just a cultural thing?
I think
Because
it's like a morality kind of thing.
because with our culture,
Yeah.
my God,
We are
No, like
moral.
no,
Yeah, good
like
point.
no, like I think if. Yeah, I don't
You
think
watched
there's
The
ever
Idol?
there's never a titty. There's never a titty
No.
in Indian
Damn
films.
it.
That's
Never
never
a
gonna
titty.
happen.
Never
Yeah,
a titty.
I
Like-
would never put a titty.
What's
in this
wild
movie.
though is that when they finally do get together, you don't get nudity, but you would get what I would argue is one of the most offensively gendered sex scenes I have ever seen. They're like fighting,
Yeah.
but then he just keeps swirling her into like,
undressing
he
her.
undresses her, right?
Yeah.
but he like, she's a warrior.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, you're a lady.
You're a woman.
Yeah, you're
Look at
gonna
how
be
beautiful
my
you
No,
girl.
this is like one of the things where it's like, I think, us being like Westerners watching Indian movies, like the perspective that I think we all have is like, oh, like the moment that she's like now his like love interest, she is completely useless for like the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Like she has no use other than being like his woman.
Which is
where
crazy, 'cause up
before
top-
she was like badass.
She was fucking.
Slaying bitches.
she
And
was
then he's like,
cutting
and he's like,
people's
no, you're
throats.
mine now. Go like, don't
on
do
a
anything cool.
dress.
Yeah.
And the second one, she does get badass, and actually like women get to do like cool things in like the second one.
Well,
not
there
in
were
it.
some cool women in this one too, but you're right. Like
Yeah.
it was
His mom was.
his
fucking
mom
awesome.
who became like ended up being like the real boss bitch of like the
Yeah.
kingdom and stuff like that. But you're right, where like the way we're introduced to this character, she's literally slitting people's throats, like fighting
Yeah,
for the
women,
guerrilla
women
revolution.
don't really get the best roles in the Indian movies that I've
Yeah.
seen. Like they're kind of like always like second class citizens. in
Yeah.
When they're
movies,
doing
but-
this fight dance,
you know.
he twirls her, which rips off her warrior outfit and puts her in a dress. He then spins her around, and now it's like a more beautifully colored dress.
Bippity boppity boo.
He reaches up into a tree, crushes berries, like basically slaps rouge and mascara
Put fucking
on her
makeup
face.
on her.
Remember when he tattooed her without her consent? That was crazy.
That was so fucking
Twice.
funny because he
does it twice.
He does it twice because he keeps on putting things on her, other animals on her, so that she doesn't feel him
Listen,
drawing.
the
on her
feminist
hands.
in me is so torn because if I met a man who could bippity bop my boop ass into a full get up, like meat
funny.
face, you better believe I'm marrying this man.
Yeah.
But also, don't touch me.
Okay.
Don't fucking touch me. But if you can tattoo,
Yeah. If he can do a nice little henna on my
if
shoulder,
you could do a little
That was-
single line.
I mean,
moment.
look, was it offensive and weirdly gendered? Absolutely. Did he beat the fuck out that face?
yeah,
You
he
bet it.
fucking bet you.
That man knows how to do a mean
Makeup.
cat eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baahubali, he's not just a warrior, he's a fucking beauty influencer.
Yeah.
He's a mua.
got it
Yeah,
all.
he's a mua.
Yeah, it's like, where did he learn this? We don't know.
Yeah.
It's in his genetics. He's just royalty. He's
Yeah.
great.
I mean,
Natural born
there's not a
Mua.
lot going on at the bottom of that waterfall.
No.
No,
You know?
he had a ton of time.
He had a lot of time
Yeah.
practicing on that sand face. I think.
Yeah, you're right. That was his
Yeah.
palette.
Yeah.
So we meet this girl and we kind of find out her backstory, right? Is that she is a part of this underground army.
here. Today I'm going to teach you how to do a cat eye.
Me trying to keep going with the movie.
With crushed berries.
Actually, I'd be into that.
Yeah.
I'd watch it. It's more
Yeah.
natural. It's organic.
Okay,
It's probably
sorry,
terrible
go
for your
on.
skin.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. So she's a part of this like underground army.
Yeah.
That
The movie ramps up.
The resistance.
very quick.
It's a really quaint story about a boy
Yeah.
that wants to see the world, and he just stumbles into
Like the caste system.
fucking Moses
fucking
versus
on crack. Yeah.
the Pharaoh.
Yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
for me is Old Testament.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But that is exactly what it is. It's just Moses versus the Pharaoh. It's him coming back and being like, hey, these are my people. I actually own this land.
I'm going to really piss off and alienate Kelsey here, but I'm wondering if you guys felt watching this back. I was like, oh shit, this is the Legend of Zelda.
Oh god.
Oh.
Because
fuck.
okay, I just specific moments.
Okay.
He's climbing up the waterfall. He makes his own bow and arrow.
Yeah,
then
yeah.
Jumps off of the waterfall and enters Link's
This
little like
bullet
yeah,
time.
his little
bullet time,
yeah.
and then shoots a bow and arrow to carry himself up. I'm like, this is fucking Zelda.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
later, he made one of the prince, the king, his brother made like a rotating axe
Oh,
horse.
yeah.
Oh, that was sick.
Oh yeah.
That was sick.
Yeah,
I wonder if
yeah.
he pulled inspiration from the game, the director. Because Zelda's been around for a minute, no?
Yeah, but not
Yeah,
the new
not
one.
this one.
Oh, never mind. I wonder if Zelda pulled inspiration from this.
Maybe.
I mean, it's been proven that it's been pulling inspiration from a lot of cool things.
Okay.
Cool. Studio Ghibli stuff.
Wait, but like, can you explain what exactly is happening within the kingdom? It's like,
it's
two-
two princes.
yeah.
Two
Well, we
princes were
have-
supposed to.
I really like the way that this movie, and really all of his movies, unveil information.
Yeah.
Because you start This is what happened in RR as well. You start in the present. You start to unravel. I wouldn't call it a mystery, but it's like a map that is revealing itself to you as you go.
Yeah, it's like like the fog of war in Zelda, where you like get to the tower and then there's like a new area that you learned about. But it feels like opening an onion a little bit and like seeing both sides of people's stories, which I thought was always
it's a little more
cool.
first person.
Yeah.
Because it's like you don't really know what's going on as the characters don't.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like Baahubali is trying to discover who he was. He enters this conflict. Okay, there's this woman here who's a fighter. She's slitting throats. There's this kingdom, and what are they doing? Okay, now there's this
Princess
king
they gotta save too.
Yeah, there's a princess who's in shackles.
Yeah.
There's an evil king and his grandpa with the most glorious mustache I've ever
sure,
seen.
yeah.
I want to talk about his facial hair for the remainder of the podcast.
I would talk about everybody's facial hair in all of these movies.
They had some
incredible.
good-
They're all good. It's just Indian hair,
Top
tippity
tier.
top of the tier.
Yeah. That's why it's so
Jesus
expensive.
Christ. Yeah, that's very fair.
Fucking stupid thin ass hair over here.
Hey, it's okay.
Get the fuck
This
out of here.
haircut.
It's good.
Yeah.
Haircut fucks.
Can you do a mustache though?
Not like him.
Yeah, that's what.
I don't know
what
if I-
matters.
Done a mustache?
I've never done a
You
mustache. Should I do a mustache?
You should do a
Do a
mustache.
mustache.
Do a mustache and stubble. Mustache and stubble.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could do a mustache. I'm looking at you right now. You
You can do a mustache and stubble.
I
too.
do
You already
mustache
have a
and
mustache.
stubble.
You just have more around it.
Right.
You do a mustache?
Yeah.
You could do a mustache.
Yeah, you would rock a
do a mustache.
mean stash.
My mustache,
yeah.
it looks. It's not as like thick as I would
Oh
like.
my God. Can we talk about the movie?
Oh, sorry.
You
Sorry,
would
sorry.
immediately become Uncle Rico if you did a mustache.
Yeah. I get it. It ages me a lot.
So then you like the midpoint of the movie, we go back in time.
It's a new movie.
And
Yeah.
it's a whole second movie.
Yeah.
And
It's
you
sick.
figure out what is the backstory to
Yeah.
everything. And you have Baahubali Senior, the father, played by the same Baahubali.
A little bit confusing. Yeah.
And the current king, they are brothers. And as babies, the queen says, both of my children have equal rights to the throne. And whoever is, I don't know, something more.
Improve themselves to
Yeah.
be the most noble, righteous, and good for the people. And also, LOL, fight this
Army.
bad army that's coming in.
It's just
They'll be
kind
good.
of coloristic, colorism.
Oh,
coded.
yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God! They doing what we do over here. Where they make the dark skinned people bad and
Yeah.
the light skinned people good.
The dark skinned
and-
army is like, they're basically
Savages.
orcs.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were.
Yeah.
They were
I got
savages.
mega Lord of the Rings vibes
Yeah,
from
yeah,
this
yeah,
movie.
yeah. It was like, oh, that hurts.
Yeah.
This one hurts my feelings.
But that is a thing too in like some Tollywood movies,
Oh, yeah.
right? Is that they
Yeah, it's- they're very-
amplify light skin. Yeah.
Yeah.
My fucking baddie addy, what's the main chick's name?
Which one?
The Ard Warrior.
Is it
Oh.
Avantika?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Avantika.
yeah.
Okay, so Avantika, who's
Sounds like an airline.
our baddie addy, she's out in the forest, she's slitting throats, she's cool. And I'm seeing her and I'm like, yo, this girl is hot, she kicks ass. When they do the makeover of her, am I
lighter.
crazy?
She whiter?
She was
She lighter.
8 tones whiter.
Yeah.
To the
Yeah.
point that when she was Butterfly Princess on the waterfall,
I didn't recognize
she was
her.
like,
I didn't
what?
know it was the
Yeah.
same person.
Yeah, I didn't recognize her.
I
very-
swear to God, I was
Yeah.
like, what is, oh, I thought it was like, oh, he wants to find Butterfly Princess, but now he found this baddie addy in the forest. He's like,
Yeah.
forget her.
Right.
yeah.
I had to Google her in the middle of the movie to figure out that she was the same person.
I thought maybe Butterfly Woman was just like an essence.
Yeah, like
she
a-
was just to get him up the mountain and then she was gone.
a sprite.
Yeah. And then to reveal that
Yeah.
it's the same woman, I was like, oh, I want like my daughters to
Yeah.
idol her as a
Yeah.
warrior.
Well,
She's sick.
watch the second one.
Oh, I
She's
can't
pretty sick.
wait.
She's
Fuck
pretty
yeah.
sick.
Fuck
I can't
yeah.
wait. Can we do it next week?
One thing I love is so there's this legend of Baahubali, and they keep seeing him. The king will see our boy, and he'll look at me. There was a line where he's like, "I've seen those eyes before." He was a baby.
Yeah.
He was a
Yeah,
literal
but
baby.
he looks exactly like his
dad.
brother, his
Yeah.
dad, or the
Yeah,
guy's
his
brother.
dad's his brother. Yeah.
Yeah. I did they age up the king now? He was a little bit. He his uncle,
Yeah.
who is the king. He is a little bit older, right?
Yeah.
They probably aged him up with
Okay,
makeup.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Because the other confusing part is their last name is Baahubali. not the first name. So they just share the last name. So anytime they were talking about Baahubali, I was like, wait, which one are they talking about? Is it the son or the dad who was a half king?
No, Baahubali was his.
Did they have different dads?
Was Baahubali
Yes.
not?
So okay, oh my God.
Yeah.
So the woman, the queen who was a badass, who
Yeah.
then becomes the princess that they need to save. Confusing.
No, is it? I thought it was
Yeah,
different.
that's the mom.
That's the same actress?
Yes.
Why do all these ladies look so different?
Wait,
Are you
Well, she's like sunburnt
her
now.
brother, yeah, because she'd been like chained up
Yeah.
for 25 years. Her brother was the one who had the evil son.
Mm-hmm.
And no, her sister had the. Oh fuck! Now I'm confusing myself. Baahubali
They were
was
like
not the
half-brothers.
I think
original.
Baahubali
yeah.
is the given name, no? It's
Yeah.
not the family name?
No, I think it's the family name, isn't it?
But did the
I
queen
thought it was a given
have
name
two
because they were
babies?
calling each other
no,
different things.
it was her sister's baby who died during childbirth. Baahubali.
Oh.
Then the uncle
Oh,
was
she
like,
raised it like
yeah, since the father died, you will no.
I'm with you though.
Okay.
Yeah, we get it,
okay,
we get it, we get it.
Okay, so they weren't. They were half.
They were half
They were
brothers.
cousins technically.
Oh, so they
Okay.
weren't brothers.
No, but they were raised as brothers.
Okay.
I believe
They do
that.
a really good job of showing that the king is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Where the first time we meet him, he's in a bullfight, and it's this badass scene, and the way that he beats the bull, bitch ass move.
Yeah.
He reaches his hand down and tickles its nose.
Yeah.
So
Oh, he
rude.
pulls it by its nose.
I hated him for that.
Yeah, it was
He
so
stuck
fucked
his
up.
hand.
But
he
I-
fisted
He
went
his
a little bit-
Fisted his
nostril.
nose and then
grinded
just
him.
like fucking pulled him and pulled his head to the side and like wrestled him down.
Yeah, it's
I-
kind of what they do with dogs. It's to show beta that like you're the beta. It's like you'll put your hand on their like face to be like, no, I am the beta.
Oh, does my dog not like it when I shove my face in his snoot?
No, he likes that. But it's like if they're acting up, you put your hand on their neck to be like, I'm the beta. He was showing them that he was the beta.
He's the alpha.
Yeah.
I saw it.
Oh, excuse
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
God, I need more coffee. Just ignore me this whole podcast. I don't want to be here.
Yeah, but I do love that they kept on putting like CGI in the corner to show
They're
that
big
the
on,
animals are
Yeah,
are
they're
not.
big on like showing that there's like no animal cruelty or no
cruelty.
animals
Yeah.
involved.
Like it's at the beginning, it says like no animals are harmed during.
It
this
definitely did
filming
take me
process.
out seeing that label on every shot.
There's a
with
watermark.
animals.
It's a
Yeah.
watermark, but it makes like again
It
like,
was?
there's certain things that we have to give up for cultural difference, and that's one of them. It's just
Can you
like they
imagine-
But
don't
at
want to hurt
RRR,
animals.
they just said it at the beginning.
yeah.
And then you're seeing,
Yeah.
lions and everything.
Imagine you're in the theater and like Vin Diesel's jumping his Camaro.
Yeah, and
This
it's
is
CGI.
watermark.
CGI, and you're like, no, really?
Yeah.
Really?
It
No,
definitely,
but
like-
you're right because they're sacred
They're
in
sacred,
the culture.
yeah.
But then they do have a scene of them slaying, sacrificing an animal,
Yeah.
and then what makes Baahubali the good one is that he says, "I will not sacrifice." It's like pardoning the turkey
Yeah,
for Thanksgiving.
yeah.
yeah, same thing.
Same thing.
I want to talk about
Absolutely.
Katapa. Katapa is he's this like
The-
older
The
royal
bald
guard.
guy.
Yes.
He's the royal guard.
Yeah,
The servant of the
he's so
family.
fucking sick.
Sick.
He's
Yeah.
so fucking sick.
Hot old man.
Yeah,
That's a hot old
yeah.
man.
All of my friends who are now like balding like for real like and can grow full beards.
That's the best look.
They just the best look.
Yep.
Fucking I keep on screaming at them, dog. Cut that shit off and then just get
Yeah.
the beard, man.
Yep.
It looks so cool.
Yeah.
Man, you want to be a real man? Put your hair down there.
Down there.
Flip it.
All right, Zach, do it. Go
I'm
full
not a
ball.
real man.
Oh, okay,
No,
got it.
No. Zach has hair.
I want you to shave your head and put your hair on your chin.
No.
Checks out.
I want you to be the opposite.
Yeah. What made him so badass too was like he's in both timelines, right? He's our
Yeah.
1 through character that
Yeah.
like you see him
He
in
survived.
Yeah, he survives and you're falling in love with what are you laughing at?
I'm picturing, because you guys just bought Smosh, I'm picturing like your old Smosh photo, but it's your old swoop hair down as your chin.
Down here, yeah. That's the conclusion.
I think that's your manifest.
Our emo. We're gonna invent emo beards.
Oh, hell, that's the Halloween
Yeah.
costume of the year.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Calling it here. I'm going as you.
Absolutely.
I'm
no,
being a
but
real
like
menace this episode.
But
I'm sorry.
but bald dude, he was sick
He was
because you know
sick.
it's like he showed that he had like loyalty and honor,
Yeah.
and then that just like
And you're
that just
hot?
amplifies the gut punch at the end.
Listen, man, they're doing a live action God of War. We got Kratos right there, man. If you're into it.
It's true.
Wait, yeah, you mentioned the reveal at the end. I feel like we should just talk about it because we fall in love with this character so much. Like the moment I was like, oh my God, is so many times throughout the story in the flashbacks, the good prince, Baahubali, tries to give him his freedom as like the servant for the family and as like the protector of the guard. And he keeps saying no. He's like, this is my fucking duty. This is my lineage. I mean, it's a little brainwashing for sure.
Yeah, how do we feel about the fact he's like, I am a slave because of honor?
Yeah.
Priorities, man. I don't know.
Again, it just goes back to like different times, I guess. I feel like, because I mean, when you watch like Spartacus, that whole series, like he was very duty driven, and I guess in Gladiator it's the same thing. You just become like
it's
the greatest
finding your purpose too.
warrior.
Like I guess if like we know now that this is wrong. The caste system is not ideal, and like I think back then, not knowing what we know, to have that purpose as your life to like honor and serve one person. I mean, think of like Brienne and Game of Thrones. Like your job, that's your fucking duty that gives you your purpose.
I mean, the caste system is still around. Though.
Yeah.
Like I talk to Neil about that shit all the time, where he was just like, I came here from low caste, and people will still ask me what caste are you from, and like, what the fuck? It's like, what does it matter?
Yeah,
I have
wild.
an Emmy.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
But like, so you really fall in love with this guy, and he's constantly doing the right thing, and he's constantly like showing up for people. All the like sturdy, maybe I have daddy issues, I don't know. He's just like really giving daddy.
He's so daddy.
And then the fucking reveal, we have to talk about it. I mean, like this man turns out to be the guy who's telling us the story to tell Shiva about his past, why they need him. Yeah. He's the chosen one. He's going to help save us. And then he tells them this whole story about where you come from. I was your father's greatest confidant, his best man. He became the king, but he is no longer alive because he was betrayed. And this is the last like moment of the movie where they go like, who did it? Reveal, tell us who did it. And he's like, he was stabbed in the back by me.
Yeah.
I lied.
Yep.
We rewound the movie
Credits.
because we went, wait,
Credits.
what?
Yeah, will be
Hold
concluded
on,
next
what?
year.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
I can't imagine like if I saw that in the theater, I would have like pissed myself.
Yeah.
I would have thrown a fucking fit like a toddler
Yeah.
because we literally had to rewind it, and we're like listening. We're like, did we miss something?
Yeah.
Like, what is he fucking talking about? He backstabbed him because obviously it's the bad brother or the uncle that backstabbed him.
And I was like, why are you guys building this up like a reveal? Obviously the king killed him.
Yes.
Like, that ain't no fucking, because the king tries to kill his brother, cousin, whatever the fuck he is, a million times. And like they show that he's about to do it. He's a bad guy. And then he says, it was me. It cuts to that Zack Snyder shot. It's like, whoosh, and you see the knife go through the back. It's like, all silhouetted.
Yeah.
And then it just is like this beautiful stained glass window smash to credits.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I could not, and it had me questioning everything about him because now is he doing all of this for Shiva out of the goodness of his heart, or is he just fucking guilty?
He's guilty.
He just feels
it's
guilty.
all fucking guilt.
How are we gonna open the next one? If you just told me all this shit about my past and my father, and then you're gonna tell me you killed my father,
He's just following orders.
and like from whom though?
Going back like a couple minutes before then, or actually it was an hour and a half before then, but it's a couple minutes in the chronology. So he's trying to protect the prince, the king's son. Katapa is like sworn to protect him. Yeah. He and Baahubali are both running to a horse.
Fucking God. I recorded this. I'm sorry. Please don't. I recorded this scene and was so fucking sick. I was like screaming. I had to like send, because Neil has been telling me to watch this movie for like a good while now. And I recorded it, sent it to him. I was like, this is what the fuck I'm talking about. So
the action in these movies is so
there's no, we do
above.
nothing
so
like it.
So
nothing
above.
like it.
So they're both, him and Shiva are both running to this prince, and they're both running to a sword that is kind of in the way on a horse.
Katapa whistles for a horse.
Yeah.
A horse is galloping through. There is a sword saddled on the horse. They're coming from left. He's coming from right. And
that is
both,
the dad's sword as well. Is it not?
You might be right.
I believe
and
so.
they are sprinting towards this.
Sprinting towards this horse with a sword on its back. Katapa gets there first, grabs the sword, and he's just like, okay, cool, I get to defend. And then you just see Shiva jump in the air and like do like a somersault and grab the sword from its hilt, from its scabbard. Or whatever, out of the scabbard, and while mid-flip, cuts the head off of this prince and just lands beautifully. And it just like kind of, the head just kind of swirls into the mist or into the abyss. It was so fucking dope. I don't want to say it's hard to explain. It's just
beautiful.
It's just beautiful. It's something.
breathtaking.
It's breathtaking. It's something that you need to see.
The magic of that moment too, because like they freeze time for it. And then Baahubali is still flipping, and the body of the headless man
still running.
It's still like walking.
My God.
Right? Like running, walking.
It does feel very video game-esque. Like that's what we kept saying when we were watching it, was like, what does this feel like? And like just how big his muscles are, the way he's always in this like fighter stance, the way he can beat the shit out of 20 guys, like standing in a circle, like the freeze frame moments. It does give video game.
Yeah, I think like the thing that stands out for like S.S. Rajamouli's movies that I've seen, and probably other Indian movies as well, is like the earnestness. Like where like Marvel always like winks to the camera. It's like, I can't believe we're here, right, guys? Like it's so funny that my outfit is spandex, right?
Right.
And like these movies, it's like, no, I am fucking buff as shit. I'll flex my arms and break my bracelets. I'm gonna like do 5 flips in the air. I'm gonna throw people 30 feet, and I just do that because that's what I'm able to do.
That's what I can do. That's why I'm stronger than everybody else.
Yeah.
In a fight, he's literally yeeting bodies at Baahubali.
I couldn't remember if that was the first one or the second one. So that I recorded on my phone because it was the most insane thing I've ever seen. Where he's just like, he literally steps on a guy so his body flies up, grabs him by the leg, and just starts tossing dudes. And there's like 20 guys flying through the air. They all pile up on him.
Yep.
And then he just like fucking flexes and blows them all off of his body. That was so
honestly
sick.
That fight scene, I'm not gonna lie, it was one of my favorite like war scenes I've seen out of any movie series.
I mean, of course, like some of the background is CGI just to like have numbers, but it's still a lot of extras that they put in.
Yeah, it's cheaper.
Just to have
there.
It's really hard to direct big battle scenes like that and have it coherent. And the last hour of this movie is war.
Yeah.
And it is a 25,000 person army versus a 100,000 person army.
Yeah.
And they have a strategy, the Trident strategy.
Hell yeah.
And you see the different it was giving Battle of the Bastards. It was giving Return of the King.
You're like, we're about to watch an epic.
And I was following it coherently. And that is expert direction. That is really hard to do, and not many directors can pull it off.
Yeah.
And this was top tier shit.
But
I love the little details of the fight. I love how he bursts people off his body. I was thinking about how Katapa, when he was running towards Baahubali or Shiva to kill him after he's killed the prince, he then sees Bahubali's eyes and he does that soccer slide. He gets down on his knees.
It's just like,
my prince, my king, my true one.
But you are right. The earnestness, I think, is what makes it so exciting, and to me, actually makes it funnier than any Marvel movie.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're taking it so seriously and truly. It's amazingly funny.
If we don't watch the second one together, I'm going to be pissed. And I'm saying that right now to both of you.
I don't know if it's funny to Indian audiences.
I doubt it is.
Like, because I feel like when we all saw RRR in the theaters, like, you know, like every time like one of the English people talked, everyone was laughing because like the English was so bad,
right?
And like and there's just like all these other like moments when like the audiences were laughing, where I was like, I don't think the Indian audiences react the same way. And also like, I know some people, like some Indian Americans and some other people that watch like they've been watching Indian movies for a long time. They were like, yeah, RRR was good.
Yeah.
But so fun.
But like they were like it was good.
Fine, yeah.
But like the rest of us who aren't initiated and aren't like used to like this sort of like, you know, stuff that normally goes on. We're like, what the fuck? Oh, this is crazy.
And I don't mean, I want to correct myself. It's not funny and like, oh, this is silly. It's funny and like, this is so awesome.
Yeah.
Like you just don't even know the glee that you experience. It's just so bigger than larger than life.
Because I think we feel like as American audiences, we've seen it all. Like especially going through most of the Fast and Furious franchise. It's like there's no way that anybody could throw human beings onto another human being as projectiles. That doesn't make any sense. It's fine. We're never going to see that. And then you see it and you're like, oh, okay, well, I guess I haven't.
Like when we saw the trailer for Fast X, when we were like, oh, great, they're swinging a car from the helicopter onto like we'd ever do that. But we suspend all fucking belief and we fully believe it for these movies. Like, I don't know why we think, maybe it's just because we're not a part of the culture and we think like maybe that this is actually real and could happen, because I don't believe our grand, you know, bravado nonsense action scenes like 99% of the time. Maybe it is something in the direction of the way that it's done where it just feels so like the stunts feel so real and earnest. Or,
you mean like when he ripped a rock in half and then used it as a sled to outrace an avalanche?
Correct.
Yeah, that was he ripped it was tree bark.
It wasn't.
Yeah, it was like half of tree bark, and then he used that as a sled.
It's like just
insane.
Casually the biggest stunt from Triple X just is like a footnote in this movie.
Yeah.
It was Christmas Vacation, Chevy Chase, the sled through the woods. I was like, oh my God.
I also love that like you'll have the best action that you've ever seen, and then in the middle of it, they're gonna stop for multiple musical numbers.
Yeah, they gotta dance.
Sure, yeah,
my favorite scene in this is in the flashback. You have Baahubali and the brother, and it's like, okay, here's our plan.
Can we? Yeah.
Okay, you sneak in the back. I'm gonna go have an awesome music video threesome.
Yeah.
That fucking music video slaps so hard. Dude, it's so good. It's so good.
They're pitching that plan. He's like, what are you talking about? I was like, no. You sneak in the back and I'm going to get everyone drunk. How are you going to do it? Well, I'm going to take a bunch of pebbles and I'm going to throw it at pots in the air. Aren't they going to be pissed you're breaking their pots? No, everyone's going to fucking love it. And then they're going to reward me because you know that giant bundle of rope in the middle of the room? It's going to slowly unwind. And turns out it's 3 ladies who've been inside of it the whole time.
Oh my God.
And
classic
they
rope
all want to
ladies.
fuck me.
Yeah.
And everyone is going to watch.
That's Shibari.
Yeah, it was.
That was
it
for my
hot.
kinksters out there.
I don't know.
Sorry, that was a real niche joke.
there.
Thanks, buddy.
What is shibari?
It's role play.
Oh.
Or like, you know, rigging is when you lift
Isn't
someone up.
shibori the type of like...
No, shibari.
Shibori's the blue ink dye...
Yes.
tie-dye.
Yes. Good job, Zach. Anyway, so that was sick.
That song, that whole like scene is just so sick. Like just the choreography and like the symmetry that they use in that, like, and it's just hot.
I selfishly wish the songs were in English so I could understand what they were saying. Like I do want to know what they're about.
I'm such a sucker for when it's a giant group of men hyping up their one boy.
Yeah.
It's and Tollywood, Bollywood movies seem to do this a lot, where it's like there's a girl and there's a guy, in this case 3 girls, and everyone in the room is just like, no, my boy. My boy's gonna get it.
Yeah.
So it's like this dance and he's dancing and like seducing them, but you just have his whole posse behind him like pushing him forward and being like, he's the shit.
Like I said, bros supporting bros. We don't see enough of it.
We don't.
We need to see more. We absolutely need to see more.
Bros support your bros.
Yeah,
Isn't that
what
what Fast
is
and
that?
Furious is all about?
You're right. I feel like though with men, it's a lot of teasing. It's like, I bet you won't, or like, come on, like, you just flopped so hard. It's like, no, I want to see someone be like, hey man, it's okay, dust yourself off, try again.
Yeah,
you're gonna get the next
that's
one.
your 30s. I feel
Yeah,
like.
you're right. It's more actualized relationships and friendships. Yeah. No more jealousy.
No more jealousy.
Yeah. I wish we could just do a like list of the sickest like
What the
kills.
fuck was in the cave? Yeah.
No, it was in
What
the
was
cave.
in the
Oh
cave?
no, they said it was the way up. To,
The
Yeah.
cave. Was,
yeah.
the way
So
up
they
was in the
blocked
cave.
it off, so that's why he had to climb the waterfall.
okay.
Because that's the thing we didn't like mention, right? Is that the under the waterfall people knew that something up there was like evil and bad, and they wanted to keep their villagers separate from that world. So
Well,
they
it's also how they found the baby, which I fully
we
brushed.
got to talk about it. We got to talk about it.
Yeah,
we
let's
did
just
not talk about
the
the
very
baby.
beginning. Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
That there's a woman who is running from these guards from the upstairs people, and she ends up downstairs at the waterfall people. She's got a baby. She murks 2 fucking guards in the water, but then what takes her out? The strong river. And she's got her baby, and she looks up at the mountain and she says to the gods, I will sacrifice myself if you keep this baby alive. And by full choice, she decides to just sink herself into the water with the baby sitting up on her arm.
And rigor mortis takes effect.
Yeah.
And she's just holding the baby above the water line.
Yeah.
What would you do if you happened upon a creek and you just saw a rigor mortis?
I'm not touching
dead
that fucking
arm?
baby. That is a
Live
cursed
baby
baby.
in
Demon's
it.
baby.
Yeah,
That is
that's
the
how
devil's
that's how
child.
horror movies start.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then when she lets go of the
Because
baby,
it
she
points
slowly
to the
points
sky.
to the mountain.
Because,
Like
again,
this baby came from the mountain.
rigor mortis takes over, and it's just like, oh, my hand was also doing this.
Yeah, I'm not touching that baby.
No
with a
wonder the
10-foot
mom
pole.
was like, "Yeah, don't climb that waterfall."
Yeah.
Well, she knew. She
Yeah.
was like, you came from the evil upstairs place.
I would straight up tell my baby. So, you were born from a demon hand.
Yeah.
And you're not climbing that fucking waterfall.
No,
No.
absolutely not.
So they close off the entrance to the cave.
And don't ever tell him where he came from.
No.
Right? Yeah.
Well, I'd be a curious boy too. I'd be like, well, I'm
Yeah.
going to take this in my
It was.
own hands.
I mean, it was also so funny of him as a child looking up at the waterfall. I'm like, Mom, what's up there? And she's like, shut the fuck up.
She said that's bad things. They eat little boys.
Yeah.
And he was like,
Yeah.
word, I'm going to get up there.
Yeah.
And his whole just player move of they're like, oh, you have to bring bring
Oh
1,000
my God,
bowls
yes.
of water
Yeah.
to the shrine. And he's like, fuck this shit. I'm picking up this
This
500-pound shrine and just putting it under
Under
the
the
waterfall.
waterfall.
Yeah.
And he was
Just
like,
total
see,
hacked
Mom?
it.
Now your God is always wet or something like that.
Yeah.
Or always blessed.
Now your blessing will always be blessed.
Yeah, that was my one.
like
I
they
had
started
one
dancing.
guilt with this movie, and it was the voiceover of the old spiritual man was like a wizard. The way that they gave him a voice.
I'm sorry. Did you watch dubbed?
Well,
Get the fuck out of here.
Hold on.
No, she.
You watch-
Hold on. I didn't know there was another version.
Yeah.
Wait, so you watched it?
On Netflix.
So wait.
And it's just just people just being
It's just
like,
human
hello
beings?
there.
Yes.
Oh, God. No.
I fucking loved it.
God.
Except
Ew.
my
What is
one
wrong
guilt.
with you?
I didn't know there was another version. This is the only option I got on Netflix.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, so you guys had to
Subbed over
read
dub.
captions the whole time?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Dog, I did not get that. And I didn't get that for RRR either.
What?
You watch
You
all
gotta
English
watch it
dub?
again.
What version are you guys watching?
We're watching
You go
the
into
Hindi
the
dub.
you go into the thing and you put on the right language.
I didn't know. That was my one
Wow,
guilt was the
wow.
guy voiceover that they put for the wizard was fucking hysterical.
That's why we don't watch dub things.
Everything else
They're
was good,
always,
though.
You know what?
Yeah,
Let's make this
they're
a
always
teaching
bad.
moment
Yeah.
instead of an attack moment.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, I think
We
Yeah, I know.
find
Yeah.
that dubs are bad.
Yeah. We do.
But what is
I
a-
didn't know there was another version. I would like to watch the second one
Yeah.
as
Yeah,
originally
watch it.
planned.
Watch
it's
it
still
with the-
unfortunately not the original language.
That is the
Yeah,
problem, is that
that
no
sucks.
matter what, you're going to be watching a dubbed version of
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And it is frustrating.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't just have the original Telugu.
Is that the more popular language?
Yeah.
Probably
Oh, you're
Netflix is.
maybe in the U.S.
Yeah.
I will
Okay.
say
In
I
terms of,
went to
Indian
YouTube
Americans,
to
but-
find like a Q&A about, or excuse me, like an explainer because I had so many questions.
Yeah.
And they had explainers of this movie. They had this movie review in like 20 different languages.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it was like in English, in this and that. And I was like, oh my God, there are so many people across the world watching this
Yeah,
movie.
unlike Amazon, I've watched a bunch of Indian movies or several Indian movies, not a bunch, on Amazon, and they have like just totally separate versions that are like, oh, this movie in Hindi, this movie in Telugu, this movie in this one starts with a K. But yeah, I
look
mean,
at us, we're
there,
uncultured.
there's like there must be like hundreds of millions of people that speak Telugu.
Yeah.
So I think it's so weird that we don't get the original dub. I don't understand.
I just
So
hate
weird.
watching it and the mouths don't match.
Yeah.
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 Oh my god.
They do that with kung fu movies a lot sometimes too, where it's just like instead of Mandarin, it's in Cantonese.
See, you guys fucked up. Actually, this is your fault because you told me before watching Prey when we did Prey to change it. You should have told me.
Oh, fair enough.
Thank you.
Yeah. In the original,
claiming my time.
But in Prey, I watched Prey in English, but it wasn't a dub, was it not? It was still in the original.
I don't remember. I remember Prey had a
And
two
you
versions
told
to
me to
watch,
change
and there was
it.
one where
Yeah.
you could watch in the native tongue.
I mean, I know me and Anthony buying Smosh was a big reveal today.
Yeah,
but you watching dubs over subs is
Well, now that I know, okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know what. What are you shaking your head for, Miles?
Can't believe you.
Just so disappointed.
I'm guessing
Just
you've-
full of
like,
men disappointed.
have you ever
at
seen
me.
an anime before?
Garrick, have
We
I?
have to move on.
No,
We'll talk later. I don't want to end our friendship on live.
Okay,
you know what I
fair,
mean?
They can't fucking believe it.
Zach, stop smiling.
Wait, have you seen
Read your
Akira
fucking
before?
paper. I gotta pee so bad all of a sudden. I got to go.
Start screaming.
Do we have fun facts?
Kelsey watched Parasite, but it was like Matt Damon voicing
Oh
over.
my god! Wait, did you watch Parasite dubbed?
No, I saw it in theaters.
Okay. I was
Oh, because you didn't have a choice.
Yeah. I can't read, you guys. This
You
is
can
actually my
read.
moment that I want to tell you.
You
I don't know
wrote
how
a
to
book.
read.
Get the fuck out of here.
You're right. Okay, fair enough. I couldn't read my own
You're
book,
an
though.
author.
I can write, I can't read.
Yeah.
Y'all ready for some fun facts?
Fun facts with
let's hear
Zach.
'em.
Now, Miles just sent me 10 fun facts, and I haven't read any of these, and I haven't.
All bangers.
All bangers. That's what I thought. So, Tollywood movies, like, they go hard for filming. I know that for RRR, it was like shot over years.
Yeah.
This one, they would shoot continuously for 24 hours.
Wow.
What?
The scenes had been planned well before, but the execution took time.
Yeah, but like,
24 hours,
what?
that's criminal.
They
Yeah, I
don't.
think that's illegal.
Yeah,
It's,
like
it's criminal here.
yeah. It doesn't matter there. Like they just want to work.
Swap out crews, I
Like,
guess.
well, yeah. In the interview that I saw with that director, when they shot RRR for like over 300 days.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like
Yeah.
we can't do that shit here.
No.
like
Well, and that's like old kung fu movies, like the early Jackie Chan movies. Like they would shoot stunts over 6 months. Like
Wow.
that's
Oh,
just
yeah.
a level of dedication that we don't.
Yeah.
It's not plausible in our economic models.
Well, it's so much more intense action too. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of it is CGI. I'm sure a lot of it is you have to like actually
Yeah.
act a lot of that out too.
I feel like whenever they're falling or like getting yeeted across a fucking screen, they're on wires. It doesn't like it,
Oh, yeah,
and
it
they're just
did.
like moving
Yeah.
along.
Yeah, a
but
lot
you're
of
still
wires.
falling for the most part, which
Yeah.
is kind of wild.
Yeah, they do a lot of CGI, but it's different than our CGI. Our CGI is you'll see like Chris Hemsworth on like a green platform in a green room, like floating with fans blowing him. But here they're doing CGI removal most of the time, which is a person in an environment and then they're painting away the wires, which is just different.
It's sick.
So we talked a little bit about how badass the final war scene was. I'm frankly not enough. It took 109 days to
Wow.
shoot that war sequence.
Believable. I
My
completely
God.
believe it.
I mean, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
It was intense.
But I mean, when you put that amount of dedication, you feel it to where like my phone is not far most of the time when I'm like watching a movie, and when that came on screen,
Yeah.
it's like I didn't even realize that the outside world existed.
Existed. You didn't even know you
It's
had
like,
a
holy
phone.
this is fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's worth watching at least that.
Yeah.
I do have confirmation here that the CGI lower left corner is because of Indian censor board rules, much like their anti-smoking warning.
Oh.
Okay, so the lead actor, his name is Rana Dagubati. Nailed that. We didn't talk about how fucking yoked he is.
He's yoked.
Dog.
He's huge.
Yo.
He's strong.
This man has muscles that I didn't even know existed on the human body. Like, it looks like they CGI'd like an extra layer of ribs onto his sides where you're just like, your ribs have ribs.
Yeah.
I feel like I could bundle up my arms and my legs into like, you could tie them all together and they could fit snug inside his biceps.
Oh, for sure. This man.
Like a womb.
Yeah. I could just crawl inside his little muscle.
Yeah, I want to see him carry you around like a little baby.
Oh.
He probably
Like
could.
the shrine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. He could lift you up above
Put
the
you
water.
under the waterfall.
Yeah.
I don't know how much this is, but he gained 33 kilograms for
That's
the
a
movie.
lot.
That's a lot.
33 kilos.
That's a lot.
That seems like a lot. His
do the
regimen
math.
included eating 40 egg whites every day.
Please, no.
Yeah, that sounds.
That is 72 pounds.
72 pounds.
He gained 72
What
pounds
the
of muscle?
fuck?
Well, okay, that's
muscle.
not just egg whites. Let's be real.
Oh,
There's other stuff at work.
I
here.
told you, they made new muscles.
So like whenever people start doing steroids, their face gets fucking crazy, and his face looked normal. So I do feel like it was at least, you know, natty. I don't know. I don't fucking. I'm not a professional and all that shit.
He was natty.
He's natty.
We were not the only ones so stoked by the end of this movie. Within 24 hours of this movie coming out, they had sold over 1 million tickets
Oh
for the
my
follow-up
God.
movie.
Whoa, they had pre-sale?
That checks out.
Dude, that's so
So
brilliant.
smart.
That's so sick. It's just like, yo, there's gonna be another one, so get your
Pay
tickets
now.
already.
That's
Just
incredible.
put a link immediately after the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like a QR code, reserve your
Yeah.
seats for a year and a half from now.
Yeah.
Holy shit. So smart.
Was it a year and a half or just a year?
It was
2 years, right? It came out in 2015. The second one came out in 2017.
I saw
Yeah.
2016 on the. It said concluded.
Well, I
in
don't trust
2016.
anything I see on my Netflix now. So
Well, actually, in Kelsey's, it was Matt Damon saying, "See you soon."
also
watch
buy
that.
crypto.
Yeah.
You pussy.
I'm from Boston anyway.
They spent approximately just under $200,000 on a private gym.
Wow.
I feel like that's like what The Rock requires, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't he have like
Yeah.
a private
Writer.
gym at like every
yeah, but I'm
I
sure they're
feel
not
like-
building it for $100,000.
Yeah. Tom Cruise does the same thing where he like has everybody on the cast like work out with him in the mornings or something like that, like
cute.
5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the grips.
Like the grips too.
Oh,
I'm
the
sure.
cast, I guess
The
you
cast.
said.
It's anybody that is
Be awesome.
available.
A
as
PA
a-
just
yeah.
benching. Tom
Fucking
Cruise.
just trying to get.
He's like, I don't want to do this. I'm working
kinda sick.
16-hour days.
So this was the most expensive movie in Indian cinema to date.
Wow.
With an estimated budget of... They did this on a $28 million budget.
That's what was crazy. The film was made on a budget of 180 crore, 28 million
That seems.
dollars, which is really
Incorrect.
low.
like I said, it's cheaper over
Oh
there.
yeah, I guess when you
Yeah, that's
factor in the
fair.
labor.
That's
costs and
amazing.
stuff.
That's incredible.
Wow. And this was the first Indian film that really transcended regional boundaries. It was made in Telugu, but it was and Tamil, but it was dubbed in Hindi, Malayam, fuck. I'm bad.
Different
It
language.
was dubbed in Hindi, English, French, Japanese, and more.
Yeah.
Wow.
This really blew open the Tollywood doors.
That's
Hell
fucking
yeah.
awesome.
Pave the way for RRR.
I really do want to see him making a Hollywood movie proper.
Oh my
Like,
God.
It would
And
be
give
sick,
him-
but I would feel bad for him.
yeah.
And you know
yeah,
what?
he'd-
I
he'd
don't.
be
I want to see him
restricted
make
in,
a
like-
Telugu film with some like big English actors.
Oh man.
Yeah, it'd
like
be
a
fun. I mean,
Hemsworth.
Ray Stevenson kicked down that door, right, with RRR.
Yeah.
So
fair.
let's get some more.
Do you know how bad Vin Diesel wants to make this movie?
Oh, my
Oh, God.
How badly Vin Diesel wants
He
to
would
be able to
so
sing in the middle?
good.
Yeah.
And sing and dance.
Yeah.
I'm
But he'd be
manifesting this.
so. I feel like he'd be annoying.
No, he'd be annoying. Okay, let's actually think of genuinely who is the best actor to join.
Hugh Jackman. We already talked
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah.
Oh, he could be fun.
Yeah.
He's almost
What
too
about
good of a choice.
What about I mean, oh, you know who could play the what's his name? Katakana, the
Katapa.
Katapa. Freaking oh my god, now his name's the
Act it out.
Guardians
Is
of
it
the
a movie?
Galaxy.
Oh, Ray
David Bautista.
Dave Bautista.
David,
Yeah, he'd be
yeah,
great.
Batista would be.
great.
He would
awesome.
because
I was
he
gonna
would
say,
fit the bill of the big.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Jeffrey Wright. I don't know if you've seen him
Yeah.
in recent stuff, but
He's not ripped enough, but he's got
not
the
ripped.
vibe.
Yeah, for sure. He was in Westworld as the scientist, and he was in Game Night as the FBI agent.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Oh, that's specific. Yeah.
Well, now it's time for us to decide, is this movie a pleasure, a guilty pleasure, or just plain guilty?
God.
Ian, why should people see this movie?
Why? Oh man.
Why, you fool?
I mean, do you want to have
fool.
your mind blown?
Yes.
If yes, go watch it. It's a lot of fun. I would say it is a pleasure.
It's as pleasure gets. This movie is just so big. This to me is like an allegory of the cave moment. It's you come out of this movie realizing what you've been deprived prior.
Yeah.
And it's like, blockbusters should take every emotion that you could have and push it to the 1000th degree. And that is what Baahubali does. It will excite you. It will titillate you. It will arouse you.
Oh, yeah.
It will leave you breathless. And like us, it'll leave you screaming for the sequel.
Yes.
Everyone watch it so we can get back here and do the conclusion.
Yeah.
I have to say a full P because y'all know I fucking hate these action. Y'all know I fucking hate CGI.
Fucking hates these
Y'all know I
action
hate
movies.
this shit.
Yeah.
And genuinely, the same way you had your phone down and watched the whole thing, I don't think I looked away once.
Yeah.
That just goes for like the story, the twists,
Yeah.
the action. I believed it all. I suspended my belief, and I just had a good time.
Yeah.
I was tie, been fucking all night, and then the next day I was like, I need to take a nap, and I was like, no, I don't. I need to do drugs and watch this movie, and I did.
I've been fucking all night.
Yeah.
Cool brag, bro.
You know my life.
Jesus Christ.
Not a brag if it happens all the time.
Yeah, no. Oh God. Boo.
You
Get her
guys
out
are
of here.
mad.
She watched Dubs.
Haters.
She watched Dubs.
Yeah, it's true.
Sex positive.
We
Anyway.
won't slut shame you, but we will dub shame
We
you.
will
Yeah,
dub
dub
shame.
shame.
Absolutely.
There's some serious dub
Fair.
shaming.
Yeah. The sex parties are cool. The dub, not cool at all.
Well, speaking of sex parties, now it's time for my pleasure.
Did you say if it was your
You said full P.
Oh yeah, it's full pleasure. It's full
Yeah.
pleasure.
I don't even need. Garrick is so transparent.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
obvious
I'm
he
very
loves this
Your
shit.
shoes are
about
so
it.
white. I'm so jealous.
This is something it may be new since last time you were here. This is other stuff in media that you are enjoying.
I can go first. I saw The Blackening on Friday,
how was
which
that?
I have been waiting for, written by Dwayne Perkins, the gay comic. It was so fucking funny.
Yeah.
It was the idea is that it's a horror movie full of black people who they all can't die first in this movie. So it's the game of what the fuck happens, what's the mystery. I genuinely got scared. The jump scares were good. I normally won't see horror films, but this was so fucking funny. The theater was laughing. Go in a theater full of people. You're gonna have a riot of a time. A+ horror comedy done correctly. And this, I think the way it was made was it was a sketch. It was like a Funny or Die sketch.
It was a Comedy Central sketch.
Comedy Central sketch that then got blown up into a movie all these years later, and it was very good. Very well done.
Asteroid City, the
Oh,
new
yeah.
Wes Anderson
I saw it
movie.
yesterday.
Yeah, I guys, anytime a Wes Anderson movie is in theaters, it is required viewing.
Yeah.
This, I think, is both the most Wes Anderson movies ever made and also the boldest departure in his filmmaking.
Yeah.
I think right now we've been seeing a lot of this, like all these AI dorks make like, with Star Wars was made by Wes Anderson.
And then you
And
watch
this
it.
movie is such a fucking proof of the power of human creativity that only he could have made this film. It is so deeply interesting and weird and challenging. And I read it all as this meditation on the hopeless search for meaning in this universe, and how even if you don't understand what the world is
You
all
keep
about,
telling
you
the
just
story.
that maybe if you make art, you can dip into the unconscious truths that we all possess together. It has what I think is his most breathtaking sequence that he has ever filmed.
Oh wow.
Which one?
Well, I don't want to spoil it. It's
Wait,
the
give me a
midpoint of
hint.
the movie.
It's a sequence?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It has weirdly his most emotional moment. I think Wes Anderson is often derided for being like all style over emotion. I think this has one scene particularly that like is the most poignantly beautiful thing he's ever made, a meditation on grief and acceptance. And it also has, again, the most challenging and avant-garde directing he's ever done. Like it really, all of Wes Anderson's movies.
Does it have any people of color?
It does.
It does.
Oh, he's evolved.
He's
Yeah,
evolved.
he has
I mean,
evolved.
Wes Anderson, like all of his
cool.
movies are about
for him.
control, right? Like the way that his filmmaking like is trying to exert control over the chaos of the universe, right? And his characters trying to navigate that. And this movie actually dives directly into the theme of his form and is almost a meditation on Wes Anderson itself. It fucking rocks.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
fun
the
time.
more that I see it, the more it will reward me. And just go fucking support good movies.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's a solid endorsement.
Yeah.
I was telling y'all I saw this Fast and the Furious the musical.
And didn't invite us.
Yeah.
No,
and
I
Garrick saw it
didn't.
too and didn't invite us.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Garrick saw it like years ago,
Okay,
and
that's
then they
fine.
just brought it back. It's in LA. I don't
look it
know
up.
when or if they're doing another show, but yeah, I don't know. Google it or something and tell them if you live in LA or the LA area or thinking about visiting LA. I don't know, like message them and tell them to do it again. It was really, really funny.
Okay.
Hilarious. I've been this is a music one. I've been listening to this rapper, that Mexican OT. He's very, very good. I feel like he's very new, since we're that Mexican out of Texas, and it's like a very like Paul Wall style rap, while also like being like a Mexican bandito, like with a cowboy hat, and he rolls his R's on words that don't have R's in them. And it's fucking sick. He's so dope, and I think that everybody should know about this kid. It's wild. He's one of like the last remaining like swag rappers that I've heard in a while.
I think there is one more showing July 21st. It looks like at the Dynasty Typewriter. I'll give us tickets right now.
Okay. So come to our impromptu meet and greet.
Yeah.
Cool. Goddamn. Well, Ian, I was gonna. This is where I say, got anything to promote? Hell yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do, baby. We're making sketches again. Anthony and myself were writing the sketches and performing in the sketches on the main channel, Smosh. We're back to classic Smosh, baby. Doing silly ha-has, and it's good to be back.
Hell yeah. Where can people find you?
You know, Google me, I guess. I don't know. I
Google
think I'm Smosh Ian on Twitter, Ian Hecox on Instagram,
Yeah, you are.
Smosh on YouTube.
Wow. And I'll be making a cameo in the next 4
Please.
years.
Yeah, please
Ooh,
come on.
nice.
Yeah.
I just gave really long tail just in case. I want to give him some
I
flexibility.
mean, you were just on our channel, but
I'm one of the final mid evolution Smosh.
Yeah.
This is kind of like you guys are entering your Charizard phase.
Nice.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
So I
you
was
were a Charmeleon.
I was in the Charmeleon
yeah.
phase.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
You should come on. You should come on sketch.
Fuck yeah. See, this is how you make it happen. You just kind
You
of
force them to do it
you just
live.
force it.
And we'll go. And we'll
we'll
go
do
to a
it
sex
live.
party.
Hell
and
yeah.
we'll go to another car show.
See, you tap into all three of our identities.
This is why he's the returning champion.
Yeah.
I'm at Corn Diddy on all things.
I'm Kelsey Darragh on all the
I'm
things.
Garrick Bernard on all the things.
And until next time.
Baahubali!
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 Baahubali!